we get it. I get it. I get it. I understand. Okay. Cool, I guess? I don't know. It was a bunch of nothing salad. Like sitting there at the fucking table being like, more chickens, please. Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Joshana here to talk about the rest of season 2 of House of the Dragon. I know I said I was thinking that my plan was going to be to just like kind of react or review every 2, maybe 3 episodes. And then that just did not happen. And the reason is mostly because of my general feelings toward the season, which were meh. Someone in my comments asked, hey, are you gonna do any more reviews of season 2 of House of the Dragon? I can't remember who. And then Ray, also over at Bookmark Chronicles, she messaged me and was like, are you gonna do any more? I've been waiting. So here I am. I decided to sit down and finally frickin' do it. And I would have actually probably had this up last week, but I was on vacation visiting my family back in Michigan for the week. And I do have notes for, because I did the first 2 episodes. That was the one previous video I did for season 2. And then I do have some random notes for the rest of the episodes, except for the final one. I did not write a single thing down for that. So I'll just kind of go through these and see if there's anything like notable. Oh yeah, episode 3 is when Rhaenyra's dumbass plan was enacted to sneak into King's Landing to talk to Alicent. I just can't with, and I do just think there are so many elements to Alicent's character and the decisions that she makes and just how she is, her mannerisms, her behaviors, how she raises her children, everything that I think do kind of go into like not great writing. I don't know, just in general, even in season 1. She's just stupid. Fight me if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna fight about it because it's just my opinion. Oh yeah, okay. Oh my god. Season 2, episode 4. Freaking Daemon's goddamn hallucinations. This is my big thing. I'm not gonna get into all my little stupid notes because it really boils down to this season I felt like was just a lot of nothing. It was a bunch of nothing salad and long drawn out fucking shots for no reason. And just so many, there was one in particular that sticks out every time I think about this or talk about this with my friends. When Aegon is all laid up and burnt and Alicent is in the room hanging out and like the maester comes in and she's talking to the maester. I don't even remember what they're talking about. But then we cut to her standing right outside of Aegon's room on like the little balcony walkway that like looks into the courtyard, right? And there's like guards standing on either side and she's in the middle and she's standing sideways. And it's just her like looking down, being distressed or whatever. And it's like a cool shot, like it's cool looking. So I get like, ooh, wanting to have this cool shot. But they hang on it for way too long, like a noticeably weird amount of time and for nothing. It's just her standing there. The one scene where she's having like a panic attack kind of at the council table, that kind of goes on for a minute. But that like, even that I felt like was a little long. Like, all right, okay, we get it. That's my overall feelings for this whole season. We get it. I get it. I get it. I understand. You don't need to keep showing me the same fucking thing over and over. You're telling me the same message in all these different shots, long drawn out shots, repetitive scenes. I get it. There were so many scenes that screamed, hey, everybody, look at what a cool shot this is. And that's why we put it in here. You know, like I'm all for cool shots, but like either have them be brief, like Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry, I'm going to compare the shows. They're in the same world. It's literally, they're tied together. Like, yeah, Game of Thrones had some shots that were not for any particular reason other than like a cool shot, but they were like brief. They were more brief shots and whatever. Anytime we lingered on someone standing quietly or a scene of like whatever, there was a reason for it, or it gave us some new like insight into a character or whatever. Or like, I remember the scene when Tommen jumps out the window. I remember when he walked away. And it's just that it was a cool shot of the sept burning in the background. And I remember watching that being like, okay, we're kind of hanging out on this shot for a long time. Like, what are we doing? Like, I get it. Like, it's burning. Like, it's a cool shot or whatever. And then bam. And that was the point of it. It was a little drawn out. So and not everyone did, I know. I watch a lot of reactions, and a lot of people are like, what's going on here? Where did Tommen go? It was long enough that, like, I kind of forgot that Tommen had walked away. I kind of forgot what we were doing because they were just hanging out in this shot. So then when Tommen came back into the scene and did that, it was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Whereas in House of the Dragon, they'll just have this long drawn out shot and then nothing happens. You're like, okay. Cool, I guess. I don't know. So much of that. And like Daemon in Harrenhal, like, I fucking get it. He's having hallucinations. He's having visions. He's seeing shit. He's dealing with his inner demons via this crazy town place he's at and the visions he's having. I get it. Oh my Jesus. I did not need like, what, 7 fucking different scenes showing the same shit? Once again, I get that they were trying to give us a message. They were trying to convey something about Daemon and what he was going through. But you did it with, like, and they were trying to convey, like, the madness that just was, he was spiraling. You didn't need to show me 6, 7 different scenes of that, though. I understood, and I felt the, like, intenseness of it after, like, the first one, honestly. But, like, okay, show me maybe 2 or 3 to, like, really, like, okay, every time, he is just going further and further in it. Cool. Stop there. Jesus Christ. Just every time, like, seriously, by the 3rd or 4th one, every time we were with Daemon and Harrenhal and he was going crazy, I was just like, I want to skip ahead. I don't care. And because I know I'm not learning any new crazy information. And I'm sorry. On that note, he touched the weirwood tree and turned into the 3-eyed raven, I guess, and could see all the things just like the 3-eyed raven could, just like Bran could. How? Why? Can everybody do this? Was it just because Alice Rivers? I doubt it. Like, BS. I call BS. I don't know. I feel like they're messing with the lore a lot, and I'm sure there's going to be someone that's like, no, but if you did, maybe. There's theories, whatever. My personal opinion is, like, it's silly, and this goddamn prophecy that they shoehorned in and retconned in, they're focusing on it way too much. That was another thing. When fucking Rhaenyra was telling Jace about it, the way that they shot that whole sequence, it was like a little montage with her voiceover telling Jace about the Song of Ice and Fire while other shit was going on. But the way they shot it, the directing, the cinematography, the music, the way they did it, it's like they thought we didn't know this already. It's like they thought, we're giving you new, crazy, cool information, everybody. Pay attention. And I was just like, we already fucking know this. I get that Jace is learning this for the first time, but, like, we all already know this. It's not that fucking, ooh, oh my God. Like, it felt like they were trying to make it this, oh shit scene. And, like, nah. I obviously felt, like, devastated when Meleys died and Rhaenys. But, like, oh, that scene was so sad. And I was like, it's not even real. It's not. Like, not only is it, like, when an animal dies in a show, I know the animal doesn't really die, but, like, these aren't even real life animals that exist in our world. They're dragons. But it still was just so sad. Oh, freaking Meleys. Oh, yeah, and episode 5 is the first time when I noted, I felt like the scene when the River Lords come to Harrenhal, the, like, 4 or 5 River Lords, and there's the one woman, and they come to Harrenhal to, like, yell at Daemon. That scene when they're all in, like, the room, I don't know if it's like the council chambers or like their dining room, whatever, and the River Lords are yelling at Daemon, and like a few of them like walk up closer to him and they're like, man, the woman is like yelling at him. I felt like, and I'm so sorry to these actors. I felt like that was not very good acting. Like, I was watching it and kind of cringing and going, it felt so overacted. And then later when the River Lords came again and they were out by the weirwood tree, a few episodes later, I love what's-his-fuck, Tully, Oscar Tully. Love Oscar Tully. That kid, I think, is a good actor, and I just like the character. But again, all the other River Lords, I was like, I'm so sorry to this man and this woman and this other man. I don't think they're, like, on the same level. And I mean, not everyone's going to be on the same level as everyone else, obviously. But, like, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, you come to expect, like, a base level of acting ability. And I just felt like there was a couple of those peeps that weren't at that level, and like noticeably where I was like, oh, I don't like it. And I feel really mean saying that, but I just wanted to point it out. Oh, episode 6, my first note is, why the fuck the lion, LOL? When the fucking Lannisters show up and they just got a lion in a cage, like, are we a circus now? Like, we're just carrying a lion around because we're Lannisters? Like, sure, I guess, whatever. Maybe that was a thing in the lore. I don't remember. Oh yeah, then I have a note here. Aemond is so dumb, sitting there with his leg up like the cool guy when he has his leg like cocked up on the chair, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, why are they making him such a douche? Like a corny douche? I felt like they made Aemond into this like caricature of like just such a douche canoe. Stupid. Oh yeah, this is the one I think where Alicent was just standing on the balcony like outside in the hallway. And I put, Alicent standing there breathing. What was the point? Just to have a cool shot? I guess. And then I put, LOL, Alicent's best son is the one she had nothing to do with raising. Was that seriously the first time she inquired about her kid? What a shit-ass mom. Oh yeah, then Aegon and Larys talking. I said, once again, this was way too point-blank, in-your-face dialogue. Which, again, the writing, I just didn't feel like the dialogue writing and just the writing in general. I know there was like the writer's strike that affected things across the board. It kind of shows. It kind of shows. Then I wrote, Mysaria's sad-ass backstory. God dang. Oh, they're going to make out. Oh, yeah. Another thing that is bugging me, and I know there's theories abound, and I'm sure some people feel very strongly about it, but are we not going to explain whether or not Laenor is dead? Like, they're so fucking in your face and on the nose with certain things, like with dialogue about, you know, whatever, and you're like, okay, I get it, like after school special ass dialogue. And then with shit like this, where there's lore in this world where dragons cannot be bound to, they cannot be claimed by, or cannot claim another, like anyone other than one rider. Dragons can have one dragon rider. Other people can ride with their dragon rider, but like they can only be claimed by one dragon rider at a time. So we all know that Laenor wasn't dead, so Seasmoke was just flying around without a rider because his rider dipped, which was also kind of mean. But, like, then all of a sudden, and I know I've seen people online be arguing, like, well, there was that one episode where they were like, ooh, Seasmoke's getting restless. I wonder why. Oh, he must be lonely now. You know, 10 plus fucking years later, I guess. And I've seen people arguing that that was them telling us that Laenor is dead, and like I can see the argument for he's no longer on the show, like we haven't been following him over in SO, so we don't know what the fuck he's doing. I'm not saying I want to see a scene of him dead, or like a scene of like, oh, we're back with Laenor, and then, oh, nope, this is his death scene. Like, no, but some kind of confirmation that he's dead. Why are you gonna be so fucking in your face, on the nose, with all this other shit, and this dialogue and all this shit, and then be so subtle to the point of like, did you guys just forget this? Is this a plot hole? Kind of seems like it was, because how the fuck did Adam of Hull claim Seasmoke, or vice versa, whatever? How did he become the Dragon Rider unless Laenor's dead? So like, to me, per the lore, Laenor is obviously dead, but like, we couldn't have a scene of Rhaenyra getting like a fucking note about that or some shit from like the boyfriend that he was with, or someone else over in Essos who knows her and like mentions, oh, this guy, I don't know, something. It just felt like a plot hole. It felt like they forgot, honestly, is what it felt like. And then, oh my god, I'm so done with Daemon dicking around at Harrenhal. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Jace, okay. Jace being so dumb, and not that it matters because they are different things, but like this is something that they changed from the book to the show. In the book, it was Jace who was like, hey, let's get some fucking more dragon riders. Let's see if there's Targaryen bastards about that can claim some of these dragons. It was his idea, if my memory serves me correctly. Pretty sure. I'm like 99.9% sure. So definitely something different, because in the show, he's all like, wah, there's other dragon riders that aren't full Targaryens, meh. And his this is the writing. This makes no sense logically, because, okay, his whole thing, it would make sense. His argument of, well, if there's these other people, like, I already get called a bastard. People know, I know that my dad was not Laenor. that I'm a bastard and I'm partially Harwin Strong's blood. And so my claim to the throne, his argument that like my claim to the throne is reliant upon or is like solidified with the fact that I'm a dragon rider. What? Because I could see that argument if your fucking dad was the Targaryen and your mom was actually some rando lady. So like the only proof that you were your father's blood at all was that you could dragon ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you needed proof that you were of any Targaryen blood, and you think that that proof is that you can dragon ride, and now these other people, but that even doesn't make sense either, because the reason they can dragon ride is because they are also of Targaryen blood. So no matter what, you can ride a dragon, that proves you have some Targaryen blood. But also, your fucking mom is the Targaryen. You were cooked in her fucking uterus. You came out of her vagina. There's no question that you are Targaryen. Like, there's no question up in the air, is he even really Targaryen, of Targaryen blood? Everyone knows you have Targaryen blood. Your fucking mom is the Targaryen. So, you being able to dragon ride doesn't, like, extra prove that you're a Targaryen. There's no question about that. Like, it just made no sense. Him being all like, hey, man, now other people can do it. And that, like, weakens my claim. How, bro? How? It just felt contrived. It was, once again, another thing that the writing, it just felt like kind of dumb and contrived. Like they pulled some shit out of their ass to cause tension. That's another thing, too, with Adam of Hull, is he's Velaryon, so he either has Targaryen blood somewhere along the line that he doesn't know of, or I know there was a theory, like from in the books, that the reason Sea Smoke let him ride him is because Sea Smoke had been claimed by Laenor previously, and then in the book, when Laenor died, that there was like a theory that Sea Smoke like recognized their shared blood, even though it wasn't Targaryen. That like had Sea Smoke not been claimed by Laenor Velaryon before, who was also partly Targaryen, that Adam of Hull would not have been able to claim Sea Smoke, because the only reason Sea Smoke accepted Adam of Hull is because he smelled or felt similar to Laenor Velaryon, and that like Adam of Hull doesn't have any Targaryen blood, but because of that shared blood from a previous dragon rider, like that's a theory. I have no idea per the lore if that actually makes sense or not, but they're not explaining it at all. So in the show, they're kind of making it seem like you don't have to have Targaryen blood at all, but that I don't like that if that is what they're trying to say, because that completely flies in the face of all of the fucking lore from the entire world of Westeros and Essos and everything. I don't know. I don't like their choices. Oh yeah, and then the fucking Vermithor claiming scene too. I wrote, dragging this Vermithor shit out forever. They drag scenes out for way too long. Like fucking Hugh staring in the face of the dragon so much longer than necessary. Like, weirdly long. Like, weirdly, noticeably, like, we're staring at each other. Cool, you're yelling in his face. Okay, now you guys are just staring at each other again, and now we're panning out very, very slowly. Like, I get it. Holy shit, I get it. And then I didn't have any notes for episode 8, but Jesus Christ, Ulf is so fucking annoying. Like, and again, feels cheesy, corny, contrived. Whom the fuck would be that much of an uncouth, mannerless, just idiot? Idiot. Like, sitting there at the fucking table being like, more chickens, please. Like, fucking, oh my god, you're so cringy and dumb as fuck and, like, stupid. Are you 10 years old and an idiot? And annoying in a way that, again, maybe it's just my personal, like, opinion and I just find him annoying, but it feels like not great character writing. It's, again, like with Aemond. All of a sudden, Aemond being this, like, yeah, I'm just such a douche, yeah, baby. It feels corny and like a caricature versus a character who is, like, well-developed and well-written and everything. You know what I mean? I don't like it. And it just felt like this whole season was such fluff, filler, just a bunch of nothing nonsense for the most part. It's still obviously, like, a good show, despite some of my complaints with the writing and everything. I mean, I'm not trying to say this is like CW, like Gossip Girl reboot level, like writing or anything like that. No, it's still a high quality show overall. And like, I'm obviously still going to continue watching the other seasons whenever the fuck they come out. Ray told me that they haven't even started filming for season 3, so it's probably going to be like 2 fucking years. Cool. But like I said, even in season 1, some of the character choices and like the whole prophecy being shoehorned in, there's just some choices that they've made that I'm just not like fully loving. I don't think they're like ruining the story necessarily or anything like that. I know some people do. I don't really feel like that, but I just feel kind of like, okay. It's just not on the same level as Game of Thrones as a whole. But yeah, there we go. Lots of ranty thoughts. Still good. I love the show. I'm excited for season 3. And I'm excited for the Night of the Seven Kingdoms that's coming out. And I think that's coming out next year, right? I still need to read that. I need to read the book. And I really want to soon, and because it's shorter too. So I probably will before I watch the show. I'm sure I'm missing something too that I meant to say, but Roger can remind me because I was ranting to him, and Ingrid too. All 3 of us were talking about it quite a bit. That is all for now though. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.